the role that Def Jam has played in shifting and shaping the communal narratives around Black culture, identity, and unique lived experiences. So Jeff, as hip hop continues to evolve globally, how do we promote cultural awareness instead of cultural appropriation through Black art, music, and films?
That's a great question, and you know, it's really interesting. Hip hop is the fastest growing genre of music in the world, and I mean,
It's the youngest, right?
and it's the youngest, and it's the youngest. That's exactly right. And it's you know, what you're seeing is what's coming out of Latin America, hip hop. Obviously, which is an explosion in Africa with Afrobeats, which is really, you know, a derivation of hip hop. And it's amazing how it's spread. Def Jam is such a unique company because to be around 40 years, everybody counted Def Jam out from the beginning. Okay, they didn't believe rap was a fad, and frankly, you know, I've been a music executive for over 31 years, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of the music executives couldn't wait for that fad to be over. But guess what? It didn't go away. It only grew. But what was always in the DNA of a company like Def Jam was creative freedom, signing artists that wanted to express what they wanted to express, entrepreneurism, and we were talking about before with whether it's, you know, clothing, you know, sneakers, businesses. You look at the artists that have come through that system and built businesses for themselves. And it's also a label that has it's interesting because people are now beginning to see hip hop artists mature, and what we're finding is they mature like a fine wine, really well. I mean, really well. In fact, we were talking just last night about, you know, LL Cool J has a new album coming out. Okay, and he hasn't put an album out in 20 years. And, you know, you look at that, and we're at that point where, and by the way, I've just seen him lately, but the guy could, you know, he's in amazing shape. So it's like, I don't want to mess with that. But he, you know, really, we are blessed to have all of us have the experience, you know, be a part of the Def Jam family, and to see what it has given to the world and continues to give in terms of all kinds of artists.
And what's interesting about an LL Cool J album is the idea that there are generations of people who don't know that he was a rapper. They know him as an actor, because for 20 years he was acting. And so he's bringing a new fan base to his music, which will be incredible.
No question.
Yeah. Charlene, are there any specific initiatives or strategies Def Jam has employed to enhance the cultural impact of hip hop in the cinema?
Well, if we just, even before going into our impact in cinema, if we add on to what Jeff is saying with LL, you know, one of the things he says as he's promoting his new album is that if we look at the Rolling Stones and all of those type of groups, no one ever says they're too old to still go. And so that's what he's showing, is that it doesn't have to stop. But Def Jam, it's us and taking our artists and embracing them and keeping their dreams. You know, this is what they love to do. And as long as we're the vehicle that can make that happen, we'll stay there to do that. In terms of cinema, it's taking visions like when Rockefeller did Paid in Full, or even when Hype and Nas and X did Belly. It's believing in our artists and giving them the opportunities to expand beyond just the music, because it's all interconnected. Music is a part of film, is a part of fashion. It's just the soundtrack to our lives. So as long as the brand is here and the people that are a part of Def Jam, Jeff, myself, and some in the audience, as long as we're here and we can keep doing that, we will.
Because I feel like you have something to say.
Just having it be.
I'm waiting on his album. I'm going to put him on the spot.
Let's keep this at a film festival. That's already still a Def Jam meeting.
So is it okay for me to ask you how Def Jam has influenced your life?
Oh, I can't even lie, you know, being a rapper, being an artist, coming from New York, Def Jam is everything. You dream to be on Def Jam. From watching Crush Groove, just wanted to be a part of that. Yeah, I could never, even though I have my own personal artist issues, is Def Jam as a whole, what it stands for, what it means. I love it. I love it. I love being a part of the Def Jam family, part of the history. Despite.
He's here though, we see him here though, right?
Always show up, don't I? That's true, that's true.
Sure. All right, so I'm gonna keep us moving. So our final topic is around American gangster. Can we watch that clip?
The man I worked for had one of the biggest companies in New York City. He didn't own his own company. White man owned it, so they owned him. Nobody owns me, though. The most important thing in business is honesty. Bribery, extortion, integrity, hard work, murder, racketeering, family. Never forgetting where we came from. Who is this guy? So you are what you are in this world. That's either one or two things. You need somebody, or you ain't nobody.
Wow, powerful, right? So Def Jam started the way any other successful venture starts, with hustle, grit, drive, and strategy. There are parallels between what we just saw in the American Gangster film regarding what the business looks like on the surface versus the driving forces behind building a successful music career. Rick, people often think that the music industry is all about the glitz and the glam. Not everyone sees all the hard work that you put into building your decades-long career, grinding day in and day out. What would you say to up-and-coming artists about how to succeed and build a legacy for themselves?
Well, I say you have to reach a bar. There's a bar in hip-hop. You study the vets that are made of a lot of ruckus. That's the bar. You got to be near the bar, above the bar, or a little bit underneath the bar to be successful. And then you got to ride with the family, you know what I mean? Because they look like the Def Jam family, like they in the game so they can maneuver you. Like sometimes they got to play pops, maneuver the kid like this, you know? So, because they know the upper top, they know the stakes up there, you know what I mean? So sometimes you just got to take a loss sometime and then pops do what he got to do, you know what I mean, kid? So, yeah, like that. So we move and shake like that. Over the bad part, Jadakiss is saying, you know what I mean? Still mom and pop, they got to drive us, you know what I mean? Pop is over here like this. Watch out, Pops is up top, angry about something, you know what I mean, kid? Trying to turn nigga cowboy out here, you know what I mean, kid? Real shit.
Yeah, we're celebrating 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
40-year anniversary. So what should we look forward to for the next 40 years? Where do you see the next generation of hip-hop taking the music?
Oh, it's everywhere. You know, first of all, one thing I want to shout out, which we haven't talked about, is the ladies. You see what women have done in hip-hop. It's a long time overdue, and it's great to see so many women having success right now. So that's, I think, really important. We talked about the globalization. It's coming from all parts. It's coming from Asia. It's coming from Africa. It's coming from Latin America. And it's still very, 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 very alive here in the U.S. So I think that's all incredibly exciting. I did want to address one thing you asked me before, which was appropriation. And I'm going to get my soapbox for a minute. Just for 1 second. Music is really, really important because music is created by individuals. And so much of what individuals do, and especially in the area of hip hop, people are telling stories that are often representative of their own life and their own experiences. And that's very, very special. And in hip hop, it's very culturally important. And I'm very concerned that we make sure that, I love technology. I got it all. But we got to make sure that if this technology, like AI, that's going to sit here and take people's creativity and spit it out to a computer. I don't want a computer giving me a version of a Jadakiss verse or a Slick Rick verse. I want the original. And to that, these artists and their work needs to be respected that way. So I'm off my soapbox now, Charlene.
Well, it's an important soapbox because the power of technology can take us to really great heights, but it can also do really scary things. And so we just have to make sure that we're mindful about how we use the technology. So I'm getting every signal. If you knew the number of people who were telling me to shut it down, it's coming from everywhere. And so I'm gonna close us out by just sharing a few things. The exploration of these themes through the lens of Def Jam, soundtracks and films illustrates the transformative power of music and cinema. From addressing social injustice to showcasing the influence of fashion, celebrating Black family life, and highlighting the cultural impact of hip-hop, these films and soundtracks have not only entertained, but also educated and inspired. We hope you enjoyed our discussion today. Let's give a big round of applause to our panelists. And let's also give